Hi, and welcome to
Friday Night Bible Studies.
When did we start doing this?
It just felt right.
My name is Greg.
2,
Friday Night Bible Studies.
Bible Studies at Friday night. I'm your host.
DJ don't care.
Yep.
Oh, we're not saying.
Are we just?
Now.
I'm not our host.
Greg.
I'm Greg.
And we're joined with
Aidan and Connor.
on
Hashtag East
on
Mike.
what mic?
On East Mike.
East Mike. And we've got a very special show for you.
Not really. No.
April Fools. We don't.
I got pranked pretty good at the layer today.
What happened?
My cashier, she was like, I bought like a bag of chips, and she was like, "That's gonna be $21.50," and I was like, "All right," because it's the layer. And
Yeah,
I
right.
was fine with that. But she's like, "Gotcha!" It was cute.
That's
She
so
was
cute.
excited about it. All right, guys.
Whenever I do anything, Aiden just gives me, or like I'll say if I could do something, Aiden just gives me a look of like pure disgust.
I
but also
really,
kind,
really
isn't it?
dislike you.
April Fools.
Anyway, I have a fun prank story.
Aiden, I paid you a cent to be my friend. And now you
And
go
I
around.
don't know if you remember, but I actually did not accept nor decline that.
That's true, but you said.
That money.
Wait, hold on. You cannot do both of those things. You have to do one or the other.
No.
Aiden, I sent you the cent, and it says for buying friendships, and then you said deal.
I said deal. I didn't say what deal. I might have just seen a deal happen.
He was
And I
watching
like,
Deal or No
"Whoa,
Deal.
it's a
I was
deal."
there. He was watching Deal or No Deal, and
And
he
I-
was so excited. He texted everybody.
Part of it, okay. Greg, do you have something to say?
No, I'm just.
He just had to,
making noises. Yeah, that was my only goal.
Okay,
Sushi.
let me explain what happened, though. We both got our food. I got my food. We were both in line. There were people behind us. She had a thing of sushi in her hands, and then she sprung on me like, "Oh, by the way."
Okay, what happened was you had bought your food. You were sitting at your table. I had picked up the sushi. I went to go. I had a temporary one card because I had been locked out the day before, and it can't access your funds. So I swiped the one card because I didn't know.
Yeah, Cam.
And the lady said, "Oh, you can't do that." So I was like, "Shit." So I put the sushi away. I went up to you who was sitting at the table, and I was like, "Hey, can I borrow your one card to buy some sushi? I have a temporary one card." And he said, "Okay."
All right, I was there, and I remember Aiden had a bowl of soup sitting
Yeah.
on top of his head, and Carolyn was doing cartwheels.
Yeah.
And Carolyn cartwheeled right into the bowl of soup on Aiden's head, and it burned his face. And he was like, "Yeah," and she was like, "Pay for my sushi."
You know what? Actually, I distinctly
I'm
remember this event
two-faced
as
now.
well because I was on the roof of Foley. I had a sniper trained on Carolyn this whole time.
Why on me?
What? I mean, I was bird watching.
I really like the characters in the show.
They're really good characters
Yeah.
in a very character-driven show.
The Weeknd.
Yes. Who could forget The Weeknd, the band The Weeknd?
Who was
Marvel's Jessica Jones.
Watch
Before.
Brokeback Mountain.
I don't know if that's what I'm looking
Like
for. though.
12 times in a row.
12 times in a row.
Tell yourself it's like Groundhog's Day, but like in a different
It
part of the world.
basically is. We're stuck in that rut.
Exactly.
Just
Stuck in that rut of fucking that butt.
if you watch any TV show with a
proud of
bowl
it.
of cereal, it becomes serialized. So
If you watch any TV show while listening to the podcast Serial, it actually kind of ruins both. It's
It's a little hard.
You
I
might.
get too
Really?
turned on
You
by
might-
the cartoon.
BoJack
character,
Horseman.
Archer,
Have you seen
the
BoJack
British
Horseman?
Archer.
What watch are you wearing?
It's a cool
Moto
watch.
360. So I just got into the one where they get into his childhood backstory. What? What's up?
Can I have your watch?
No, you cannot have my watch.
Damn
I'm
it.
sorry. You almost got me. Oh yeah, the
Star
classic
Wars.
Buffy scroll. You know, Star Wars actually stole that from Buffy the Vampire
Yeah.
Slayer.
It
George
went-
Lucas had them
Sorry,
put
Connor.
back in the remastered edition. It was just George Lucas on the screen explaining the text that is in the scroll.
Yeah, also
based
if you
in New
want
York, which you have a boner for.
Oh, ooh, don't say it! Don't say it on air.
yeah, it's like a deconstruction of like the magical girl genre. So
Yeah, that
it
was magical girls. Did you know there's a Naruto opera? I watched 8 minutes. That song was 8 minutes?
no, you just
You
skip
skipped
forward.
to the middle.
Sense
Well, anyway,
Yeah.
no one's saying. We
should
want
have
to
both.
apologize to our viewers at home because we didn't check the Twitter feed.
We promised an opera.
We promised an opera
And
and
we
we
just
gave you a
couldn't.
musical.
We really prefer if
Yeah.
you email
Yeah,
us.
so that's what I was going to say. Is like we get it that you're upset that we weren't checking the tweets, but
You should
we've
have
been
emailed us.
saying we prefer email.
I've been checking the email every
Like a
minute.
fucking hawk.
Like an eagle hawk.
Greg loses sleep, okay?
Sleep
And food,
and food.
and sometimes he can't poo.
That is a different problem, but still true. Tonight is April 1st.
Nice, dude.
The theme is pranks. And I have a really good prank, but it's not really a prank. And I'll try and tell it as good as I can.
Because for those of you at home who don't know, when people perform a play, they have to rehearse it beforehand.
This whole time I thought they were all improvising.
Yeah, Aiden, not
Sorry.
everything's improv,
Wow.
bucko. Yeah, yeah.
Wait, are you
So-
guys scripted?
So I moved 7 security cameras. And I didn't think anything about it because literally no thought went into it. Why take any thought out of it?
I mean, when you're climbing.
Nothing happened on Monday, which was weird. But then on Tuesday, I got called into the office, and like urgent was circled like fucking 40 times on the pamphlet, and I was like, oh shit. And the principal and both vice principals are sitting in the principal's office, fucking like badass, like
Like Charlie's Angels?
exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow, they're fucking Charlie's Angeling it up. I wondered if I could,
Yeah.
and then I did. And he's like, well, then why didn't you stop at 1?
That's a really good point, actually.
That like fucking blew my mind because I was like, shit, I don't know. I kept doing it, and then I got really bored, so I gave up and I went back. And he was like, I don't believe, like, you'd have to be a sociopath not to have a reason. And I'm like, you don't understand. I'm a second semester senior. I am a sociopath.
You're the textbook sociopath.
Tried to come up with the best excuse, which was, I got off on doing it. It was like a thrill. It was a rush. I enjoyed, doing it.
Yeah.
I masturbated afterwards.
Kids, if you're listening, sell drugs. Third guy
Get out. You had a connection to him, too?
was Canadian.
Oh.
But so he showed me how the security camera system works, and he showed me and my father like how the system works, and like the ways that they did all these things. And I was like, why are you showing me this? If I'm still plotting something,
Yeah.
I can just do it better. But then he pulls up this picture that he had printed out, and it's a picture of me staring directly into a security camera. And he goes to the frame, and it's literally seconds after a nearby security camera just like mysteriously points up at the roof instead of like down at the street. For those of you at home who don't know, and for those of you in the room who don't know, an in-school suspension is where you show up to school and you don't go to class,
Right.
and you sit in the office,
Yeah.
and you play computer games on your computer, and you say you're working,
Yeah.
and it's fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
It's so great. I don't know how it's a punishment. Like he's trying to like sneak out of this fucking pavilion with a 20-foot ladder.
Yeah.
He's not the sneaky person.
Right.
So my friend's like, hey, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And the principal doesn't name any names,
Okay.
but he says, a student moved the security cameras and we're afraid he's going to shoot up the school.
Whoa!
Yeah. And that had not crossed my mind
That
at
hadn't come
all.
up.
At
Yeah.
all. Everybody was making like jokes with me and like like being like, hey, when are you gonna do it? Are you finally gonna? It's today the day. We're good
man.
friends, right? You're not gonna kill me. Please don't kill me, Greg.
Goodness.
And it was great because it's the first and the only time that anyone has ever become popular because they're directly tied to a school shooting threat.
Right.
The
The
security
epilogue
cameras.
is I did in fact shoot him. He robbed you.
And I'm like, yeah.
He
And he's
robbed
like-
you blind.
And he was like, you can have a parent come pick it up. So I just like immediately texted my mom. I was like, hey, can you come by after school and pick up my knife? Thanks.
Thanks, Mom.
And she had no question, which is great because it wasn't, he looked at me and said, you're a serious threat to humanity. I need to lock you up. It was, you're a weird kid.
Yeah.
And that's the impression I left with them. Well, you
If
can't. 'cause
Vice
it's taken
Principal
away.
Canada still doesn't have it.
Oh, A, maple syrup. A, I fucked a moose.
We still haven't gone to the moon.
It's more international than you might think.
Yeah, yeah.
Like Russia launches a lot of American astronauts into the sun. But, because it's not like Tom Cruise being Tom Cruise as Jason Statham in fucking, I don't know, Marvel's Mission Impossible 3, The Dickening. Which is coming out soon, though. I'm really excited
Yeah,
for
it
that.
might be about.
Wait, That was a joke. I was confused for a second.
Do you know like when there's lights above a driveway?
Sure.
You ever seen a light?
Yeah, they'd be like, "Oh, be safe."
Whatever, Mom and Dad.
Are your parents like people making fun of posh British people? Like, oh, Carolyn, be safe.
I think Connor
Don't
does.
forget to drink your tea.
Well,
We'll
we
let
have
her
a-
finish her story.
They're like,
No.
we have a. They're like,
That's fnbsradio@gmail.com. Maybe okay, so when we say at, we don't mean AT, we mean the at symbol.